I had to get my emotional support Diet Coke, okay? Welcome back to Mrs. Long Reads. Today we're going to be reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books. Because y'all know I love to argue. So y'all know I'm a huge monster romance fiend, okay? But I did try to do some stuff that wasn't just monster romance, okay? I'm going to do Amazon reviews because I don't have Goodreads yet. I'm kind of on the fence about getting Goodreads, if I'm being completely honest with you. I do have people ask me about it, though. Go ahead and start really strong, okay? My favorite book ever, like literally my favorite, at least fiction book ever, is Song of the Abyss by Emma Hamm. Obsessed with that book. Like, I even have a really pretty special edition up here. I like the whole Merman series, but Song of the Abyss is book 2, and it is literally my all-time favorite because Deus, the main MMC, is my #1 book boyfriend. No negotiation, no arguing. He's absolutely my #1 book boyfriend. Okay, Amazon has no 1-star reviews. I can't say I'm surprised there's no 1-star reviews. There is a 2-star. So, let's read this. I guess maybe I'll have to go on Goodreads, won't I? Damn it. This person said, disappointed. I really liked the first book, but I had a hard time with this one. It was harder for me to suspend my disbelief this time. I'm not sure if there was just more unrealistic things in this book, or if I was just paying more attention. It also felt like there was inconsistencies when describing the female main character's hearing loss, which made the whole thing feel disingenuous. I didn't hate the book, but maybe the proofreaders needed to step it up a bit. That's not like a terrible review. I mean, granted, it's a book about a merman and a human. There's probably going to be some unrealistic things in it. I don't really care to hear realism conversations about these books, okay? They're really not trying to be realistic, so whatever. Oh, okay, here we go. Insta attraction, and they put the yawn emoji. Here we can go. Here we go. MMC is instantly protective and possessive of FMC. Like a sad face. Oh, so sorry. She put like this type of face. I'm like, really? Okay. So corny and not the least bit cute. Unlikable characters except for Makita Ease. Okay, Makita Ease is cute. Okay, but Deus is still the best. I don't care. Only 35% in, and it is torture to read. Torture? Anya is bland and one-dimensional. Deus is completely out of his character just to fit this silly romance plot. First of all, yes, this book very much so leaned more into insta-love than the first one. That is true. Okay? However, I liked it better because I hate enemies to lovers, okay? And there are some people out there who don't like enemies to lovers. They like it when someone meets somebody and they just like them. Okay, that's actually way more normal. Let's just be for real. Okay, so yeah, he did like her pretty quickly. Okay, but I like that better than the first book. Okay, and 2, okay, unlikable. Deus is so likable. Okay, in book 1 he isn't. Okay, he is the villain in book 1. But the whole point in book 2 is that he is challenged. Okay, and the man never even got a chance at love, because he was raised to be like a warrior his whole life. All right, he was told his whole life to hate humans. What did you expect him to do? He's a merman. Okay, humans were his natural enemies. Okay, and this one girl changes it for him. Okay, is he not allowed to change? Bye. This person clearly doesn't like Disney-esque fairy tale princess fun. Like, this person doesn't like fun shit, and that's what book 2 was. Okay, it was like a fairy tale. I've said this before. Okay, whatever. This one was 2 stars, but I also included it. I thought this one was cute, but it felt like it was missing something. I don't know. It kind of felt insta everything. She's calling him handsome or whatever, like right out the gate. What? People and their hatred for insta love. God forbid a girl just know what she likes. All right, here's one. Sadly, I could not get into this sequel. I loved the first book, but this one was not working for me. I think it's because some of the tropes have the more traditional monster romance vibe where the human woman is weirdly not afraid of the scary monster, and the monster dude is inexplicably horny for her at first glance. I preferred the more slow burn approach to the first book, although I do appreciate the disability rep here. Thanks for that. This one is the only one of the series that has disability rep. and that the author had a sensitivity reader. She did, okay? Here's the thing. This is just clearly people who don't like insta-love or don't like a more immediate attraction and don't like fairy tale fun vibes, okay? So whatever. Right, so we're going on to book 2. Changed it up a slight bit, and we're going to be doing The SpellShop by Sarah Beth Durst. I read this not too long ago and absolutely loved it. I'm working on reading the second book that just released like a few weeks ago. And yeah, I thought this one might be super interesting to read 1-star reviews of because I absolutely loved it so much. And I just don't get what you could hate about this book, okay? This is a very fantasy, fantastical Hallmark vibe book, okay? Amazing book, especially for my whimsical girlies, okay? So I just don't know what people would say bad about it, but we're about to find out. I thought I was getting something with a cozy fantasy vibe, and I feel like I've been duped into reading a very basic romance. Sorry, but if I'm reading Oh, He Can't Possibly Like Me on repeat by 30%, I'm out. Oh my God. The romance plot in this was very, very light and very insignificant. I don't know what you're talking about. It's literally the man that lives next door to her, and like she kind of thinks he might like her, but she's not like super interested in it. Like it's just a side plot. And she has some moments she's like, I don't really think he really likes me. But that was by no means like all this book was. Saying that's all this book was is really a shame. This person clearly don't know what they're talking about. Sorry. I'm sorry to say, but as interesting as it was to have a fantastical creatures and different looking people populating this very low stakes cozy fantasy, I was so bored. I didn't need stakes. I didn't need something other than cozy vibes. So it can't be said I wanted something other than what I was getting into. Instead, I just needed to care, and I didn't. For those who have been loving this, don't get me wrong, I see why. And for those interested in picking it up, I don't want to sway you. This just wasn't the book for me. Okay, this one's not too bad. All that to say is this is definitely for the reader looking for something to recapture like Legends and Lattes kind of vibe. That's fair. You know, I mean, yes, maybe not everyone would find it like super compelling enough to keep reading because it is like this kind of slow, cozy just story. You know it's going to be good when someone immediately tells you that when they DNF'd it. DNF at 35%. This was incredibly boring and not cozy at all. There were a few good quotes in the beginning, but it went downhill from there. The main character is very annoying. No, she's not. And she's mean to the love interest. Okay, here's the thing though. She's not annoying. And yes, she is kind of mean, or not mean, but just sort of a little grumpy with the man next door at first. She is. But the whole point is that she's been really secluded. And when she moves back to her little cottage on this island in her hometown, it reminds her of how important it is to have community. That is literally the point of this book. So yeah, she's grumpy at first because like she never interacts with anyone ever, but she comes around. Okay, that's the point. And then she realizes, oh, it's actually good to have people around me. Like if you just stop there, it's like, oh, she's grumpy. Yeah, she comes around though. Give her a chance. I got to page 233, DNF. Pronouns for damn sentient cactus. WTF. Oh gosh, I'm so sick of this woke coddling shut down my throat. This whole book is catering to coddling socially inept woman. She's insufferable. She's hermit-like and someone you have to walk on eggshells, it seems. No thanks. Ooh, I found my first conservative. This book is actually, I know you might look at it and be like, Kendra, are you crazy? But no, it's actually a very political book. It is, because there's the reason why this girl, the FMC, has to move back to her little cottage hometown on an island is because of government tyranny. And it's a critique on government tyranny and small communities working together against tyrannical government. So of course a conservative would not like this. That's not surprising to me. The cactus goes by they, them pronouns, okay? That, again, such a small thing. This person is insufferable, not our main FMC, okay? All right, y'all. So, you know, I have to include this one, okay? Because it's one of my favorite books of all time. Okay, it's Planet Barbarians. Okay, y'all know I am obsessed with the blue aliens. Okay, so we have to do Planet Barbarians. And I know this one's about to be good. It's going to be good because people have a lot of thoughts, particularly about book one, and I just have to read them. Okay, it has a 3.63, which is still a pretty good rating, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more 1 stars on this one. Of course, here's the first one. I cannot believe TikTok convinced me to read this book. Girl, you know what's funny, girl? I am one of those book talkers that did convince a lot of people to read this book. And I get comments every day. I mean, literal 20, 30 comments a day telling me how happy they were that I recommended it. Absolutely not. This book is god-awful. I don't know what book talk is on for hyping this up. I feel differently now, and not in a good way. My therapist will be hearing about this. I don't really know what about Planet Barbarians you would need to talk to your therapist about, maybe unless you are a person who has SA-related trauma. That could be the one exception. But besides y'all, this book is deeply unserious. Me wondering what decision I made in my life that led me to reading this book. I knew these ones would hit, okay? Was this absolutely terrible? Yes, it was. Riddled with plot holes, lackluster world building, insta-love, stilted dialogue. And why give a man a tail and horns if he's not going to use them? Girl, bye. Well, calling IPB terrible, crazy, okay? But two, plot holes and lackluster world building? Yeah, because this is not the point. This is monster smut, okay? It just needs to give you enough to get you there, okay? I don't care that I don't think most people reading these are not really concerned that it has the most complex world building. Okay, it's a blue alien smut. That's not the point. Okay, next we're gonna transition over to just a contemporary romance book that's one of my favorites, okay? It's called Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I am a huge fan of Talia Hibbert, and this was the first book I ever read by her. It is one of my favorite contemporary romances that's out there. Huge Talia Hibbert fan, but this one has a special place to me because it's the first one I ever read. So, it has a 3.79 rating, which is pretty good. Getting fingered in a public park. That and the fact that the whole romance was fueled by him wanting to her is why I only gave this 1 star. It was just boring. I did like one thing, which was that it was kind of felt like a role reversal from usual romance, a prickly woman and a soft, sweet man. Oh my gosh. You know what's crazy, y'all? The part with the public park was absolutely my favorite. That's how you know me and this person would just not vibe. Okay? I love that part. This was one of my first ever really super adult contemporary romances I ever read. And I remember I was shook. I was like, oh. And Talia has a tendency to do that. She's way spicier of a writer than like how her books look. But like, I loved the part in the park. I still haven't forgot about it. I thought it was fantastic. Okay? This person clearly doesn't like smut, so you probably just shouldn't be reading Talia Hibbert. And to end this off, we're going to do another Planet Barbarian book. Yeah, one of my favorites, which I talked about in my last video, by the way. If you want to hear about all my favorite IPB books, I'm going to link them somewhere up above. This video, we're going to do Barbarian Lover. Okay, this is one of my favorite IPB books there is. Okay, it's way better than the first one. All right, for those who hated the first one, we're gonna do Barbarian Lover about my sweet little Ihako, one of my favorite book boyfriends. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Now on, when I hear the name Kira, I will think Buzzkill, Killjoy, Negative Nelly, Worrywart, the glass is half empty. And of course her mate was the complete polar opposite. He was always positive, optimistic, and could see the best in the bad situation. Yeah, that's what the whole book was about. The whole book, she was an anxiety-ridden person because of terrible things that happened to her being kidnapped from Earth. Okay, and he was a very happy-go-lucky, okay, vibe, and I loved it about him, okay? But they're a great match because of that. Like, what, are women not allowed to be negative and be anxiety-ridden? Not my fave. I hated the tropes and didn't connect with the characters. I even really liked them. Alien man horror. Definitely, if they had more women in their tribe, who would be more of one? He had regular sex with 2 of the 4 women in the tribe and only cause 2 were mated women. Constant talks of his sexual experience and prowess. Ugh. Like, constant. I don't need to hear about how Al screams when she... and how you were great at mouth mating. Okay. Yes, Ihako really is a very confident person sexually, okay? But they don't have this weird shame discourse that us humans do. All right, that's kind of like sexual prowess. Yes, it's celebrated. There is some of that like manly shit, but like they don't have shame culture. It doesn't exist in their world because they're literally aliens. Sorry, so what, a man can't be sexually confident? Why not? There was something about his confidence that really paired well with Kira, and I loved it. Okay? And you won't ever convince me otherwise. I swear, some people just don't like confident people. God forbid a man just be confident in himself. Well, y'all, that's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me, do you agree with some of these reviews? Do you not agree? Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think. And also, I want to thank y'all for 1,000 subs. This is crazy, literally crazy. But thank you so much. I don't even know what to say.